I'm Courtney Fingar, editor of FDI Magazine. I'm here in Tokyo for the 2012 annual meetings of the International Monetary Fund and World Bank. Finance ministers and other officials from around the world have gathered here to discuss the hot topics in the global economy. We've been speaking to a few of them about FDI and other trends. You can watch the footage here on FDIintelligence.com. You can also read our full coverage in the printed version of the magazine as well as here on our website. Enjoy. Thank you very much for joining us here on FDI Magazine's online IMF coverage. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
What are the main outcomes? What is Philippines hoping to achieve at these meetings? What's your agenda here?
Well, it's always nice to listen to colleagues, particularly those from the international community, exchanging information, exchanging ideas, especially listening to new research, new findings, which will help us better inform our own positions with respect to economic policy, fiscal, monetary, and other related policies. So it has been useful.
What do you think an important developing nation like the Philippines can add to the discussion about the global economy?
Well, I think that concerns about what's happening in the U.S. with their fiscal cliff, in the euro and the crisis, and what the implications of those on countries like the Philippines. I think those are important stuff, not only for the country, our country, but the way we relate with the rest of the world. We are all interrelated, and I think that for the Philippines, it depends so much on the external markets for its source of growth. Obviously, the developments outside the Philippines have so much implications for us. Mm-hmm. So we do see these developments as critical to the evolution of the economy.
And what's your own economic outlook for the remainder of this year and into next year? What are you expecting?
Well,
for the Philippines?
For this year, we are assuming we are working on a growth rate of 5 to 6%. In the first half of the year, we have already achieved 6.1%. So we expect to achieve at the upper end of the range of our growth projection. Next year, we expect to do a little better, but given, of course, or tempered by the gloomer economic global prospects, but we hope to achieve similar rate of growth for next year.
And I know FDI is very crucial to your economy, and the Philippines is developed in particular as a business process outsourcing center. Will you continue to focus on that, or are you looking to kind of diversify the types of investments you receive?
Well, our economy is diversifying. Before 5-7 years ago, our exports, for example, are so much dependent on electronics and semiconductors. Mm-hmm. Today, that's the dependence has substantially been reduced. Our exports base have diversified, and not only merchandise exports this time, we are growing at a very rapid rate in the trade in services, which of course BPOs, business process outsourcing, is a significant component of that. Mm-hmm. That is one sector that's growing very rapidly. We expect to see that sector a major driver of growth, but we are also developing other sources of growth. We have big backlogs in infrastructure and housing, and we so expect the sectors to be also key drivers of growth. Tourism is a big potential for us, and we are counting that as also a major source of growth. Of course, on the demand side, the consumption side, we are looking at consumption as still will remain to be a major driver or source of our economic growth. Remittances will continue to grow, despite I believe what's happening in the global economy. What we seem to be recognizing is that lab Filipino labors outside are quite attractive that somehow, even if the global economy is hit, you seem to be quite resilient in that part of our economy. But of course, as our local economy takes off, grows at a faster rate, we expect that Filipino workers will rather stay domestically rather than work outside the country. And
so you'd like to try to keep them at home?
Obviously, that's the goal. What we want to see is that a situation where Filipinos can find jobs, quality jobs at home rather than working abroad, because the social cost of members of families separated from each other, it's quite enormous, and so there's no. We would like to see that this job overseas is just a temporary phenomenon, and we hope that as we put our house in order, as investments grow, as employment opportunities in the country expand, Filipinos would rather choose to stay at home than to be separated from their families.
Right. And last question, what do you see as your competitive advantages for attracting investment?
Well, we have a fairly educated labor force. We are far more globalized in terms of outlooks than many of our neighbors, and in fact, our peers. I guess also that our population being able to speak the language, English language, is an advantage. But one thing that's been recognized globally is that Filipinos are quite easy to work with. They adjust quickly to challenges, and they're quite competitive. So I think that what has prevented direct investments to flow into the country in the past has been due to our unfortunate peace and order problem, poor infrastructure. But these are now being addressed. We are embarking on a major push on our infrastructure development. We are making headway in our peace and order problem. Just last week, and actually next week, we are signing this peace agreement for Mindanao, and that signing will be witnessed by no less than the Prime Minister of Malaysia and the President. So that's a major development for us, because Mindanao has so much potential as an economic base, as growth area for tourism, and also for the rest of the country. Once peace is established there, the external effects of that for the rest of the country will be quite enormous. So I think that having addressed or demonstrated, having demonstrated our commitment to address these constraints to investments, we are hoping that we will be able to create an environment that is quite attractive for investors.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.